Scotland decides. Independence rejected. But is the debate really settled? We talk to the Globe's Eric Reguly. Also, for Canadians of Scottish heritage, a very long night. I'm Affan Chowdhry. Welcome to Globe Now. It was a remarkable exercise in democracy. Scotland voted, and 55% said no to independence. Well, let's get right into it with our European Bureau Chief, Eric Reguly. We've reached him in London. Hi, Eric.
Hi.
How relieved are people where you are about Scotland's decision?
Well, in England, everyone's relieved. Investors are relieved. The markets are up. The pound's up. The banks that are based in Scotland, they're trading up. But there is a problem in that this is not the end of the story. England has already launched into negotiations to give Scotland more power. So we still got a long road ahead. The good news is the negotiations are not about Scottish independence. They're about devolution, which is an entirely different story.
Okay, Eric, here's what British Prime Minister David Cameron said today. Now the debate has been settled for a generation. Did we just see the first and last Scotland referendum?
No, I don't think so. And Alex Salmond, who is the leader of the yes vote, he's Scotland's first minister, basically hinted at that this morning. He didn't say in so many words that this is over. But he noted that 1.6 million Scots voted for independence. That's 45%. Now, that may not sound like a lot to you and me, but remember, 2 months ago, that figure was 30%. So he had a real surge near the end. He just couldn't get across the finish line. So I suspect, not right away, in 10 years, maybe 15 years, there'll be another referendum. The thing about referendums, as Quebec has shown us, when you lose, they don't really count. You just have another one until you win, then you don't have another one. So I think that's the sort of long-term game going on here.
So what is the single most important thing that Scotland wants to see happen in this post-referendum period?
Well, right now, a bare majority of Scots want to stay in the Union, but I would say that most Scots want more homegrown power. That means more power to raise your own taxes, more power to decide what gets spent where, such as welfare. Now, they're not going to go whole hog and have their own immigration policy, but they're going to get pretty close. The problem is that the United Kingdom is not just England and Scotland. There's also Wales, there's also Northern Ireland, and they will say, you know what, me too.
Yeah, interesting. Now, in Canada, as we know, constitutional change has been notoriously difficult and drawn out. I mean, should we assume the same will play out for Scotland?
Oh, I think so. There's already a backbench and front bench griping. It's almost a rebellion against Prime Minister David Cameron. David Cameron made a mistake, in my opinion. As the polls were going in favor of the Scottish independent movement, he panicked. And what he said is, look, if you guys stay in the Union, we're going to give you basically whatever you want in terms of taxation and spending power, not realizing then that the Scots were going to lose the vote. So now he's in a box. And so he has to make good on this pledge. And Alex Salmond this morning said, you got to make good on this pledge because you promised us. So, but the problem is England, where most of the tax wealth is saying, come on, we're not going to ship any more money to Scotland. You know what? They voted to stay in. Why should we give them more? So you got this tension is building already. And Cameron's also vowing to get this done very quick. He wants a package in place, a new constitutional package, by the time of the May 2015 national election.
Well, thanks, Eric. Well, we want to hear from you. Do you think the independence question has been settled in Scotland? Tweet us at Globe Now. Now, staying with the Scotland referendum, there are 4.7 million Canadians of Scottish heritage. That's almost the population of Scotland right now. So, no surprise, many were watching the referendum very closely here in Canada. The Globe's Tim McKenna visited a bar here in Toronto that's popular with many Scots.
Yes, 27,467. No, 44,288. Rejected votes, 48. The reason for rejection.
Wow, that's a hard on that one. That is...
Well,
I got to the point today where I just thought, why would you vote no? Why would you vote? Why would you be given all this power in your hand and throw it back at England?
It's a difficult question. I think that the independence movement would still survive, and there may be another referendum in 20 to 25 years.
A yes is a gamble, a no is staying with the status quo, and I think a lot of people are scared to take the leap.
It would have broken my heart to see our United Kingdom come to an end. And I know that that sentiment was shared by people not just across our country, but also around the world, because of what we've achieved together in the past and what we can do together in the future.
Well, that's all for today's show. If you've got a moment, hop onto Twitter. Do you think Scotland will hold another referendum? And if so, how soon? Tweet us at Globe Now. I'm Affan Chowdhry. Thanks for watching.